Hey, what's up, guys? This is Michael Patrick Buckley here from Hungry People. This is my first interview on the Hungry People YouTube channel, and I'm so happy to be here with my friend Phil Kerns. Phil and I went to grade school together. I transferred over to St. Elizabeth for a solo year, my eighth grade year, and we had a heck of a time, so much fun, and I made so many great memories and a ton of friends. But anyways, yeah, I'm here with Phil, and he has an awesome story to share with you, and we're ready to go. So, Phil, how are we doing today, buddy?
I can't complain. Happy to just be able to BS with you. I feel like between just texting and just sending each other stuff on Instagram, like we can
Right,
so
right.
often. It's
Yeah,
nice.
yeah, yeah, totally. Yeah, we're always talking, always send each other
Mhm.
stuff. It's really cool. So I'm really happy that you could be here today.
Oh, I appreciate it. I was when you texted me asking me to come on, I was
Yeah,
like, that's awesome. Like I never even thought about that. Like,
for sure, for
like
sure.
literally when you texted me, I walked over. I was like, I showed one of my coworkers. I was like, oh, look at this. I'm like, this is so cool. All excited.
That's awesome, dude. Awesome. Yeah, I mean, your story, it's so motivating and inspiring. And I just want to share it. So you want to get started? Just talk about a little bit about your childhood and where you were and um,
So,
whatnot.
in regards to like health, weight, or
Hmm.
um, I always grew up like I was always overweight growing up. Even when I was a kid, like I was 2 years old and I was just a massive kid growing up. And yeah, so like throughout middle school or throughout my whole life, I always played sports. Like I played baseball,
Hmm.
basketball, volleyball. And like that's whenever I met you in eighth grade, which we just talked about. It seems like I
Yeah,
go together for like all of middle school.
legit.
Like my saving grace was that I was always so active. Like I was still a little overweight, don't get me wrong, but like
Uh-huh.
with the amount that I was eating, like it was almost offset with how active I was.
Right.
When I got to high school, I stopped playing basketball and baseball, and I played volleyball my ninth and 10th grade year. And then at
Nice.
that, like the activity level went down a little bit. Like I started to gain a little bit more weight, and I'm just like,
Right.
time was just like, yeah, well, it's not that big of a deal. And then the biggest, it was 10th grade was my last year of volleyball
Uh-huh.
because in 11th grade, starting in 10th grade, I got my first job. And I was working like in high school in like 35 hours a week. So it was
Dang,
like,
dude. That's a lot.
but the biggest problem, it was in a restaurant. So it
So you were
like,
probably just picking
oh
and
God,
anything you wanted, you just
because
grubbing.
like I was just a busser, but like we'd get half off our meals there. So like
Right.
be ordering just junk food. You know, you're 16 years
Yeah,
old.
you have no clue, you know.
Exactly. Like I was just like and because of that, like I was working so much in school, I stopped playing volleyball because I just didn't have to,
Right.
which in hindsight was an absolutely terrible decision. But like, but then it was such a problem. Like I'd go to school and like you know how school meals are, they're
Oh,
absolutely
right.
terrible for you. And then I'd get home, eat a quick meal, something junky,
Mhm.
go to work, eat junk food there. I'd get home
Right.
and it just kept spiraling and I never really addressed it until all of college. It was the same thing. Like I worked in restaurants until I
Mhm.
was in college, and then I started working at Dick's, and it's still the food court. And you
Right.
just can't.
Yeah. Just get whatever you want. Yeah,
Yes.
it is really tough because especially in high school, you know, and even in college, like they really the food they put out there, it's just the food that's most convenient. You know, they're not really worried about. I mean, to some extent, I mean, you have your salads, you know, you have your greens and stuff, but still
Mhm.
there's usually a huge dessert table that you can
Yeah.
just munch on. There's usually like always ice cream, especially in
Uh-huh.
college, you can always get ice cream. You know, there's just it's
Yeah.
really whatever you want.
Hmm.
So
And
um
especially if you have like no parents or anything supervised.
right. Yeah, there's no guidance.
Like I went to Robert Morris for college, and
Hmm.
their collection was actually pretty solid. Like, don't get me wrong, they had their fair share of junk sections, but they had like
Right.
there was one place called Spoon and Fork where they had like it was almost like home cooked meals where it was
Oh,
like
wow.
some sort of chicken, like a starch, a vegetable, like better.
Nice. Yeah, it's pretty solid.
But then like for lunch, you'd get the quick deli sandwich. You'd
Yeah.
go there
Yeah.
10 p.m. and it was just like it
Right.
was it's so hard because like you know in college with everything with working with just being in school like you're so busy so it's always the convenient thing and especially coming from me because I didn't know any healthy behaviors
Hmm.
and it's just so easy for stuff to like just spiral out of control
Right.
by the time you actually realize it, you're like, whoa, like this is a problem.
For sure.
And that's where I was. It was literally the summer before my senior year of college. So it would have been, would that have been 2016? Yeah. It was
20, I think
20,
it's something before. Yeah. 2016.
yeah,
Yeah. 2016
yeah.
summer.
And then another problem, I had just turned 21.
Oh, now it's
Tuesday. Like we'd go to Permani's like once a week because it was just down the street. You'd have
yeah.
sandwich, beer, wings, and it was just like I started like at that point I was like, oh, this is getting out of control. Like I really started to come to, and it was a couple different factors that build up to it. It was like just being concerned about my own personal well-being.
For sure.
One of my best friends, Steve Cannavale,
yeah,
was another huge contributing factor in helping and even to get me started. And it was just all of that put together. It's funny because I actually have a tattoo in Roman numerals of July 1st, 2016.
Okay, nice, dude.
Which is my like official start date of all of this.
Dude, that's awesome. That is so cool. That is so cool.
Yeah, so I started July 1st, 2016 at 21 years old and 350 pounds.
Damn.
Yeah,
wow.
That on the scale, the glass just shattered, and I was like, I'm gonna die. I was like,
my gosh.
This even just like looking good or like trying to lose weight. It was like going down this path, I could die.
Right.
Like heart disease, diabetes,
stroke,
anything else. Like it's just, that was the big realization. And then yeah, so
you really woke up. Like you really were just like, I got to do this. Like you saw yourself, looked in the mirror, like I have to make a change. There's no other option for me. Like I got to do something.
Yeah. And it was like it's almost like a lie you tell yourself over a couple years. It's like you realize you're overweight. Like it's no mystery, but like you don't see it as bad as it actually is.
Yeah,
and
totally.
Then like you'll have that just realization of it, and you're just like, all right, that's it.
Right.
And I pretty much started balls to the wall on it. Like I'm not much for moderation.
Right. Nice.
I went to the gym 7 days a week between weightlifting first for probably like at first I would lift for about an hour and a half. And then I would do cardio. And when I started, I would literally just go on the stationary bike and just go.
Right. Yeah, for sure.
4 miles. And like I said, I played sports my whole life. So this wasn't new to me. Like I knew how to exercise.
Right.
But I knew how to exercise to a certain extent.
Right. Well, I'm actually really happy you said that because I feel a lot of people who start their weight loss journey, they just want to like jump right into it. You know, they just want to go run 10 miles. They want to go do that. Like they want to start squatting 400 pounds. You know, it's like, hey, like relax. It's going to take time. Work yourself into it, you know? So that's actually really, really cool to hear that you were starting slow and that you were taking it easy to start and getting your body acclimated to you know what I'm saying?
No, I jumped pretty hard right into it.
Oh,
no, I was the opposite because like I'm the type of person where it's like if I do not put 100%
right.
Why, like when I was saying like 7 days a week, like 2 hours a day at the gym, like I was completely and like my diet was a little more towards that, where it was like, okay, I don't want to do too much at once because if you try to do way too much at once, you'll fail. So with lifting and exercising, I pushed myself super hard. At first with my diet, I was just like, okay, I need to make small changes.
Okay, that's good. That's good to hear.
Like, okay. And like my buddies would be like, hey, you want to go to Chick-fil-A? Yes. But I would get a grilled chicken sandwich instead of too spicy and nuggets, like just
making healthier decisions.
Yeah, like I was just making littler, small decisions with eating and just trying to be like, okay, you're not actually hungry, you're bored or whatever. So like diet was more moderate, but with the exercise, I was like, you push yourself.
Right. Yeah.
That worked for me. And my initial plan was weigh yourself the first day. And then I would weigh myself again the day before I moved back for my senior year.
Okay.
So I gave myself all of June, all of July, and like probably 2/3 of August to start losing weight. Cause like people go to the gym for 5 days and then not lose any weight and they give up. Like,
right. Yeah, for sure.
I need to give myself enough time that I can see a change.
Yeah,
So
totally.
over, like, my jeans got a little bigger. I got some room in my shirt, and I'm like, okay, I can tell I'm losing weight. And then,
Right.
so like 2.5 months later, I stepped on the scale. And like I said, the first month or so, it was all such a learning curve. Like I wasn't doing things right, but
Right.
first like 2.5 months, we'll say, I remember I stepped on the scale and I was 317. So I lost 33 pounds, and I was like,
Wow.
holy, like I was,
Right.
it looked like on the Powerball. I was
Right.
house. I was so, and then it's just that, like, you see that victory, and that's how I treated it. And I was like,
Yeah, that's big time. That's
and
next
it
level. Yeah.
just keeps rolling.
Right.
And so basically, over the next year, I was doing 7 days a week at the gym, like probably a good hour and a half to 2 hours of lifting.
Damn.
I would do like a half hour of cardio. Like I don't want to say the word, I was obsessed with it, but
You were motivated. You were passionate
yeah.
about it. You wanted to get it done.
And the biggest thing, my roommate at the time, he was 265 pounds. He started it with me.
Oh, wow.
So like we were roommates, we were the same major, so we had every class together.
Mm-hmm.
So like we'd go to class, go to the gym, we'd go to Giant Eagle and grocery shop. I always liked to cook. So like I knew how to cook and make healthy stuff. So we'd buy the groceries and I'd cook for us.
Right. Nice. Nice.
So like that was the biggest thing, because like over the next year, there are times where I feel so unmotivated, and he'd like snap me back into it.
Nice.
And nice support system. So literally like I said, 7 days a week, started at 300 pounds. And then 1 year later, I was 227 pounds.
Damn, dude, that's crazy. Can I pause here for 1 sec? So with your first like 3 months, your first, like, I'm going for this, would you have made any changes in what you've done there? Just because it's funny, honestly, I feel like an idiot for what I said earlier about like jumping right into it. But I guess I was more referring that to like running or other, maybe even like biking and stuff. But I guess biking is pretty easy. I guess more running. But
me, like, and that might work for some people, like just being more moderate with it. Like I agree. If you try to do, like, I feel like most people fail diets initially because like they'll weigh themselves too often and they're not going. But like I feel like I said, they try to do too much at once. They're like, I'm going to do 2 miles a day. I'm going to eat salad and this. And literally, it's
unsustainable. Yeah.
And even over the course of a week or two, that's so much of it's an entire lifestyle change.
Right. Yeah. That's what, exactly.
They get flustered, and it might be too, like, and.
So if you had to go back and do it all again, would you do the exact same thing? Like, just the start, just the first 3-4 months, would you do the exact same thing that you did?
I probably would, because I feel like I had so much success that initial year.
Nice.
That my big regret is that I wish I would have done it 5 years ago, 10 years.
Right.
Right. Change anything, because like I have failed dieting more times than I could even count.
Right.
Like I had tried losing weight dozens of times, and it was a thing. Like I either never set a goal for myself, or I just tried to do too much at once.
Right.
And it's hard. Like I'll be the first to admit it.
Yeah,
like,
it is tough. It's very tough
thing. And it's but it's the best thing I ever did. Like, and awesome. I don't want to say when I say that, but like it.
Right. So a year later, so you started at 350, and then a year later you were 221, you said? 227. Wow. That's what is that? 123 pounds you lost?
Yeah. 3 pounds on the dot. Yeah.
Nice.
And then other things started to lead into that. Like I was getting to the point where I was like, I don't have that much to lose anymore.
Right.
But like that's when the hard part came, because I was at I'm not going to say happy weight, but like I was at a weight I'm comfortable with.
Yeah.
And I didn't know how to stay there. I only knew how to lose weight.
Oh, right. The maintenance was right.
because like I've lived my whole life up here. Now I'm here. I'm like, what do I do to stay here? And then,
Right.
so that led to obsessive exercise. I was only eating probably 1,800 calories a day.
Uh-huh.
And it was just, I had to go to the doctor probably 4 or 5 separate times because like I just felt sick.
Really?
Like I felt, anytime, like, and this happens often, but like every single time I stood up, I would get like super lightheaded, black spots, like
Oh, wow. Yeah.
the wobbles basically. And like
Right.
I could tell like I was exercising too much on not enough fuel.
Right.
And my body was reacting like I was not putting on any muscle. Like
Wow.
I was just like, I went to the doctor, I got blood test, urine test, I got an EKG, an echocardiogram. Like I got a bunch of stuff done, and the doctor like, all of your stuff is fine.
Right.
And like, but he said, he was like, you lost so much weight over the year. I think he was like, I just think your body's in shock.
Dude, you lost, that's a lot in a year, dude.
Like that was literally 10 pounds a month for a year.
Right. Wow.
So yeah, a pound every 3 days, basically.
Is it supposed to be like, is it 2 pounds a week maybe? Or is that like, if someone's like trying to lose weight, is it like 2 pounds a week or like 2 pounds every
I've
3
heard,
weeks, maybe something like that? It's probably all.
If you're 220 pounds and want to get to 200 versus 350 and want to get here, there was a point where I was losing like 5-6 pounds a week, like almost a pound a day.
Yeah.
But like I was so overweight, like my body could handle that loss.
Right.
But like, and I was eating only like 1,800 calories a day throughout this, but I had all that extra fat to use.
Yeah, for sure. Totally.
And like I said, my doctor was just like, I think your body is in shock. It is running on empty. Like my electrolyte levels were horribly low.
Oh, wow.
And he was just like, you need to eat more. Like I'm not saying for you to go back to the way you were, but like
right.
where you're at right now is very unhealthy, and your body is reacting.
You know, it's funny. We just did AJ and I, my friend who I did the podcast with, we just did an episode yesterday, or we just actually posted it today on calories. And the first question that I asked actually was like, if you exercise more, do you need more fuel? Like, do you need to eat more? And I said, like, obviously it depends on what you're doing and it depends on what your goal is. But for the most part, you could probably say that you do need a little more, you know?
Like, especially if you're doing it with the intent to maintain weight.
Yeah,
like,
no doubt.
To lose weight, then no, that's the point.
Right,
like,
right.
Maintain X amount of weight, and you're now burning more calories, you're gonna have to eat more.
Right.
It's
Were you able to, like, during your 1 year like weight loss, were you able to like go as hard as you can in the gym? Like you felt like you had pretty good energy and you were like rocking solid?
Like, I don't know how much of it was my body versus my mentality of it. Like I was in full stride, and it was, obviously there were days that were hard, don't get me wrong, but it was overall, like my body felt pretty good with it. Like I didn't really, until that like year mark, I felt great.
Right.
And as I started to get lighter, my body was like, okay, you're getting a little fatigued, tired. I wasn't recovering as quickly. Then obviously led into those health problems as well.
Right.
But no, after that, my doctor was like, you need to eat more, plain and simple. So like, I think every month I went up like 100 calories.
Okay.
So like, and it would literally be like 50 calories every 2 weeks. I tried to do just like small little increases.
Right.
And it definitely helped. Like the scary part was I obviously did gain weight, but I was okay with it.
Right.
So at my heaviest again, I got to like 247, but that was just me getting healthy again.
Right. Yeah, for sure.
If that meant that I had to gain some weight, so.
And that's the one thing, is that I don't think a lot of people understand that, you know, sometimes it is okay and it is healthier to put on a few pounds.
Agreed.
To ensure that you get that your body functioning better, you know.
And where I'm at right now, like I'm probably like 10 pounds heavier than I should be.
But I mean, you still look phenomenal though. I mean,
I appreciate that.
yeah.
In terms of like strength, because like I power lift, like in terms of strength, yeah, I think every single bench day for the last month, I think I've set some sort of volume or max PR.
Wow, dude, that's awesome.
Like, given like I said, I'm gaining a little bit of weight, a little higher than I should be, but like there are a lot of benefits of it. Like I feel good. I notice I'm recovering a little bit better.
Nice. Nice.
My lifts are better. Like I get a bigger pump, and it's just like I feel good doing it. So
nice, dude. That's great. So when you went to the doctor for that first time, or that was just the one time, right? What year was where were you in your time frame?
So I had finished undergrad the fall of 2016. So I was in my master's program at that time. Yeah, it would have been probably July, August of 2017.
Gotcha. So like right when you were around that 227 mark with your weight, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. Then like pretty much when I got my lowest, because like I was still trying to lose weight, and my body was just not letting me.
Right. Yeah. I was like, no.
Basically, yeah, and it was like, I think was just responding to it, and like then at one point I got the stomach virus. I remember that.
Oh gosh.
I was like 219 afterwards because I was so dehydrated.
Yeah.
You're sick like that, you can't keep anything in. Like,
right.
And I 219. I'm like, okay, that's disturbing. Like,
right.
Yeah. After that, like over the next couple months, like I said, I upped calories, started gaining a little bit of weight, but then like I started transitioning. Instead of just like lifting and cardio, I was switching more into powerlifting.
Nice. Yeah.
Which allowed me to eat a lot more, just because powerlifting is the 3 squat, bench, deadlift are your main 3 movements. And like you're doing a ton of accessories afterwards, but like when you're moving heavier weight in a compound movement, you're going to need more calories, more protein.
No doubt.
Like it was like I was probably having upwards like 400 carbs a day, along with 240 protein.
Wow.
90 grams of fat. Like I've always tried to stay lower on fat. It just helps make better choices.
Yeah, no doubt. I agree.
Right.
I agree.
At one point, like I was doing really well. I was up to, I think, like 3,600 calories a day. Like I track everything with my
nice
fitness.
Dude.
Like I was a finance major in school, so I like to think I'm good with numbers.
Right.
It works with me. Like I have turned food into numbers.
Nice, dude.
I can hold myself accountable with it.
Yeah, I'm impressed. I've never once tracked my calories. And I was an accounting major in college.
It's so scary because like, especially with like when you go out to eat or get other kind of food like that,
you don't know sometimes
really how disgustingly bad certain foods are for you.
Right.
Like I'll go to Sheetz and get a popcorn chicken thing. It's like 650 calories of all.
Like, and it probably doesn't even fill you up.
Yeah, like, but it's terrible. Like you sit there and you're like, all right, I'm still hungry now. Like,
right. Yeah, exactly.
But, yeah, like that's like my big thing with dieting, and obviously everyone has their own different thing. But what I found that is the biggest thing I can emphasize with any sort of health or weight loss or weight gain, whatever your goal for your health is, find something sustainable.
Yeah, I love that. I agree.
And it's just like, and for every single person, it's going to be different. Like me, macros is probably it's the only way that I have found long-term success.
Wow.
Some might just like you. I see you all the time. You're just like, you know what? I'm eating.
Yeah, right.
Do it, and more power to you. Like some people go to more like different extremes. Like they'll do carnivore or keto or find some sort of structure that they can follow. Not that I'm saying one is better than the other, but like whatever works for you. Yeah. That so be it.
Yeah. Like, so the structure is definitely awesome. And I'm sure it's evident that you have structure with counting your macros. So that's awesome, dude. That really is great.
I couldn't imagine doing it any other way. Cause like, if I just left myself without those restrictions, like, I would go the way I was, honestly. Like I love food. I enjoy cooking. I enjoy trying new foods. Like I'll be the first to admit, I just love food. It's great. Like,
hey, we all do. We all do.
I love powerlifting so much. It just allows me to eat more on top of that.
No doubt.
It's great.
That's awesome, dude. Who was your biggest motivator to really help you do this? What you did?
Initially, probably Steve Cannavale, just because
Nice.
like him and my other buddy Chris Arreo, they were both on Pitt's powerlifting team, and I've been friends with them since we were kids.
Yeah.
Like they've always dropped hints like, oh, you should probably go to the gym, like all that.
Right. Like,
really, Bump especially really started.
Yeah.
We had a fight one day about it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so we were sitting in my basement. We were playing Xbox. He's like, hey, I'm going to head to the gym. And I was like, oh, okay, sounds good. I'll see you later. He's like, I should probably come with me. And I was like, no, I'm good. He's like, no, I really think you do. Tell what he was getting at. So obviously I got like, no,
right.
I'm not going to the gym. He's like, fine, if you want to look like that for the rest of your life, be my guest. And just walk.
Okay, Steven.
And actually, you know, a couple factors that led into it.
Right.
That was like, holy.
Wow. Dude, Steven, he's stabbing on it. He's still deadlifting. He's still getting after it, dude.
Yeah, him and Chris Arreo, they any questions I had, like they made me diet plans, they made me lifting programs, templates, just stuff that they have found success in. And then they were the big motivators to get me into powerlifting as well. Because like doing regular lifts, but I was realizing I'm decently strong. Like considering I've only been doing this for a year or so now, like let's see what I can do now.
Right.
So I started to get into powerlifting, and then I never really looked back.
Just fell in love. It's
so much fun just being able to like load up the bar with however many plates each side, and it's just like
no doubt, dude.
No,
just pushing the weight, getting after it, having that pump, you know, having that energy, having that feel. It is unbelievable.
Like everything is pumping in your head. You are literally just on top of the world. Like you're sitting there, feel untouchable. It's great.
That's great.
That's like the intangibles of like healthy living, exercise, like just how good you feel about. Like it's always just nice, like whether it's motivation or just like confidence in yourself, like it goes so far.
Totally. Would you say that your girlfriend Bridget helps you stay on path and keeps you motivated? Or and I know you are a very motivated person yourself, so regardless, but like does her being around, does that keep you going? You know, because I know she's really into it too, which is awesome, you know, and having two people, that's great.
Like especially with like the home gym, like she was a big motivator of that, and she's really helped get all that together. Now it's nice, like it's unspoken, like the days we lift, we're lifting, like that's like we don't even have to ask like, oh, are we lifting today? Like it's just kind of understood, like I get home, and then we get after it. Like it's nice. She doesn't have to warm up as much, so she'll just jump right into the weights like as I'm warming up, and then like she'll have a great lift, PR or squat or something that gets me all fired up.
That's awesome.
And like especially with eating, like she's a great cook. Like the only thing, she loves making desserts as well, so that's but no,
hey, as long as it fits the macros, right?
Exactly. Sometimes it doesn't, but we don't talk.
Hey, it's all good.
No, but like she we go grocery shopping, we go to Trader Joe's together every Sunday.
Nice, dude.
We'll think of meals and stuff throughout the week, and obviously like we're not perfect. We'll go out to restaurants.
Yeah, for sure.
Like do all that, but like overall, like we eat dinner at home 5-6 days a week, like sit together, and like it's just nice because like she has the same goals as I do.
Nice.
So just nice to have that, especially with diet, because diet is probably the hardest thing.
Oh, it's huge.
You like just stray on it so easily because there are limitless stuff for probably cheaper, quicker, and probably taste better. Yeah, totally. But yeah, once you kind of get in a rhythm with it, like it's great. Like she's been a great motivator with all of this as well.
Awesome. That's great to hear. Now, are you still I think you might have cut out there. Are you still so how many times are you working out a week? Because I remember you were saying that you were like going 7 times, 2 hours a day. You know, what's that for you right now?
So right now I cut back. So I was 7 days a week, and then I think I cut back to 5, and then I cut back to 4 when powerlifting. Like, it just takes such a bigger toll on your body
Oh,
that like
yeah.
recover quick enough.
Right.
So like, yeah, like I do 4 days a week, Tuesday, Thursday after work, and then Saturday, Sunday. And then Saturday, Sunday lifts tend to be a little longer just because I have more
Nice.
time.
Yeah.
But, and then like we have a dog, so we walk him
Nice.
pretty
Oh,
much.
yeah.
We try to do like nice, like, because our street butts right up to like the actual park in South Park. So we take him all through there, and we take like good walks with him. But like, yeah, with lifting, I do 4 days a week, 2 bench days, 1 squat, 1 deadlift.
Nice, dude. That's awesome.
With lifting, I'm a little more, or with diet, I'm a little more lax on my diet right now. Like I'm tracking 3,000 calories a day.
Mm-hmm.
Macros are like 225 protein, like 340 carbs, and like 80 some fat. But
Wow.
like I go over pretty much every day, but I'm okay with that.
Right.
Because
Yeah.
it gives me that little bit of extra freedom. Yeah, it just it works for me, because like 3,000 isn't enough for me. I don't, but like it keeps me, I make sure I get the amount of protein, carbs, and fat I need, whatever else extra.
Nice.
With
It's just beneficial.
a little bit, but now in terms of lifting and like how, because like there comes a point, like what you were saying is like, like if you exercise more, do you need more calories? Like I could cut back on calories. Like I could probably restrict myself to like 2,500 a day, but I'm going to lose muscle. I'm not going to recover as well. I'm going to lose strength, and I'm just not that. Like,
and I feel like you're not going to have the output that you want to really push yourself. And that's what I see with myself, is that like usually the more fuel that I put in my body, I feel like the better output and the more the harder exertion I have. You know?
Oh, exactly. If you just feel hungry and tired and no energy, like what is it going to be? Like you're not going to have that. Like
right.
Yeah, like, and then it comes down to like not even just calories, but like food choices. And like if you're eating good starches, good vegetables, good sources of protein, instead of just a protein bar or some package.
Right. Sugar. Yeah, for sure.
Like a lot goes into consideration too. Like if you have a big bowl of cereal that's 70 carbs and it's all sugar, that it might help you for an hour, but garbage.
Right. Yeah, that's like maybe quick fuel if you need it, but there's still plenty of other options that are much more beneficial. Yeah. Awesome, dude. Cool. Well, do you have any final thoughts? Anything you want to say? Especially for there are people out there who it's tough for them to get started, you know?
Yep.
And
if I could I'll do like a quick outline. Biggest things I learned for it, maybe 2-3 minutes.
Yeah, for sure. That's great.
Biggest piece of advice I can give, if you're starting out, like if you look in the mirror and you're ready to make that change, write stuff down. I don't care if it's a pen or paper, Microsoft Word. I use the notes in my phone.
Yeah, I do the same thing.
Like write goals down. Like, okay, this week I'm going to make this little change, or I'm going to do this. Like if you don't have anything specifically to work for, you're just going to kind of float around.
Right.
Like be goal oriented, set little goals and big goals. Something in like, oh, in 2 weeks, if I want to be down 4 pounds, cool. But in 2 months, I want to be able to run a mile.
Right.
That short and long-term goals. Cause like even those little victories, they add up.
Oh,
like,
no doubt. 100%.
It keeps going. But like, another thing at the beginning, weigh yourself once. Do not weigh yourself for another month or 2.
Right. Yeah.
You will get discouraged because you're not going to lose weight.
Right.
Plain and not going to.
Right.
Like say 1 month, and then just trust it. Set yourself goals. Be honest with yourself. If you're not happy with your life and with your appearance or with your whatever, set the goal. Do it.
Totally.
Like there's nothing else you can do. But have fun with it. Like
that's awesome, dude.
Like sure, it's daunting, but like I go in the gym every day excited to crush it. Like I get that I have the privilege to be able to do this, to be able to treat my body in such a way. Like just be happy and enjoy the process. It's a lot of fun. You're going to meet a lot of great people.
Totally.
You're going to like you, me, you, AJ, like you have found such a nice community.
Right.
Like it's great. But
Totally.
if anyone wants to, you can follow my Instagram. Like I post a lot of lifting stuff, weight loss stuff as well. Like, do not be afraid to message me or anything.
Yeah, totally.
Like, talk to whoever about it. Wait, like,
right.
I'm not a personal trainer or anything, but like I just enjoy stuff.
That's awesome. You know, that's the thing too, is like I feel like I always love talking to people who are just so motivated and so passionate about that certain subject. That's like that's even cooler to me than to like going to a personal trainer, you know, just seeing what they had to say.
If you give me an excuse to talk about diet and fitness, run with it. Like,
I love it. I love it.
You don't have to convince.
Right. Yeah, dude. I remember your picture you had when you're like holding up the jeans.
Yep.
That was inspiring for sure.
No, I appreciate that, Mike.
Yeah. Awesome, dude. Well, we're gonna wrap it up here. Phil, thank you so much for sharing your story. That was awesome. You did an awesome job.
Having me on. Like I said, it was just getting that text from you. Like I was so excited about this. Like, morning, I was a little nervous about it.
That's great, dude.
I've watched a handful of the episodes, and I just really like what you guys do. It's
awesome. Thanks, man. Appreciate it, dude. Awesome. Cool. Well, we're going to wrap it up. Thank you so much once again. And my final thoughts are stay up, be great, always keep it HUNNIT, baby.